Every post is a signal. Give it fuel. Boost eggs, the social value layer.
Let's go. Good morning, my friends. It's your old pal PeaceLoveMusic with another episode of the Let's Go Good Morning Show, brought to you live by DeOrganized Media in partnership with our amazing friends at Bitcoin Live Decentralized Broadcasting. It's Friday. We made it. One more day to crush it. Lots of cool stuff happening. Lots of cool things to talk about. First, we want to just give you all a friendly reminder. I am not a financial advisor. I'm just your friendly neighborhood guy in his living room that likes to aggregate some news information, tell you all about what's happening in the crypto space on a daily basis. Very, very much a fan of Bitcoin and the leading layer 2 on Bitcoin stacks. Great community, great family, and really cool stuff. Super smart people building on there. But we are not providing financial advice. Always do your own research. Never invest money you cannot afford to lose. And I say that every day because we talk about financial things, news, information, pricing, assets. And I want to make sure that we're not misconstruing to you guys that we are someone that should be giving you advice as to what you should do. That's not what this is. We're just providing you the information so you can do your own research, make your own decisions, and determine your own risk tolerance. If you don't know what risk tolerance means, you should probably look that up before you buy anything. That being said, the numbers today are interesting. Gonna share my CMC over here. You guys can see Bitcoin coming in at 116,278, down less than 1%, but down a little bit. Ethereum's down at 145.21. Where is Stacks today? Stacks actually moving up a little bit, coming in slightly down at 66.69, guys. If you're into numbers, that's an interesting one. Holding on, actually moving up to number 73 by market cap on Coin Market Cap. And the Fear and Greed Index coming in at 52, still in that neutral range. Interesting stuff happening. Let's take a look at the Stacks ecosystem. Guys, if you didn't know, Stacks has fast, low-fee transactions, proof of transfer security that ties it to the Bitcoin blockchain. So all of the Stacks transactions are finalized on the Bitcoin blockchain. And by participating in the proof of transfer protocol that ties everything to the Bitcoin blockchain, you can actually stack your STX and earn native Bitcoin rewards. Plus, there's SBTC, which is programmable Bitcoin, one-to-one. It's a one-to-one Bitcoin asset with Bitcoin finality for all transactions in SBTC as well on the Bitcoin blockchain. and you can deploy it into a very robust and growing Bitcoin-oriented DeFi ecosystem on Stacks. Stacks is where it's at. Tell your friends. And when I want to look at information on the Stacks network, I take a look at stxtools.io. They have a ton of great tools in here. You can get some token information on pools, on NFTs. Lunar Crush, if you don't know, is a great way to get some information on what's going on in the ecosystem. There's a free and a premium user access, but lots of intelligence on Lunar Crush, social intelligence. And you can get a lot of information over here at stxtools.io, and follow at STX. It's also a super easy follow because everyone knows if you can't remember at STX, you probably got bigger problems than determining your risk tolerance. Let me check out the news this morning. We got a lot going on in the news. Vietnam. This is actually really interesting. We got the market data there. Vietnam shuts down 86 million bank accounts. You heard that right. Vietnam has shuttered 86 million bank accounts that failed to meet new biometric requirements aimed at curbing fraud and scams driven by AI-generated identities. I can appreciate that might be an issue, but really weird. The State Bank of Vietnam now requires facial recognition for new accounts and large transactions, citing national security. Critics warn the policy gives authorities sweeping control over financial access and raises surveillance concerns. Bitcoin advocates argue the move highlights why self-custody and decentralized money are essential, while others note most locals remain unaffected by the closures. Yeah, I don't know all the details of this. It sounds very Orwellian that you have to have a biometric signature in order to have a bank account, a simple bank account. I do understand that there's potential security risks with the advent of AI and AI-generated identities and all of that. I don't know if debanking users for not participating in the biometric requirements is really the right way. And it does absolutely point to a case for self-custody and decentralized money. So we'll be monitoring that for more. It's very interesting, though. EU eyes pensions and crypto oversight by 2026. The European Union is preparing a package of reforms to strengthen pension systems and tighten oversight of the crypto market before 2026. The plan includes better protection for savers, harmonized rules for cross-border pension schemes. Cross-border pension schemes. That doesn't sound good to me on its face, but we'll move on. And expanded enforcement powers under the MiCA framework. Lawmakers argue this will safeguard retirees while ensuring digital assets are safely integrated into Europe's financial system. Critics, however, warn that excessive regulatory pressure risks stifling innovation and could push crypto startups outside the block. Interesting. Your StackingDAO rates. On liquid STSTX, you can earn 8.63% on your stacks in STX, or you can get your yield at SBTC with STSTX BTC liquid product at 8.38%, and native stacking with regular BTC, which we talked about earlier, at 9.08%. That's over at StackingDAO. Head over to StackingDAO and jump on in. Michigan revives Bitcoin reserve bill. This is a good news if you're a supporter of strategic reserves at the state level, which I am. Michigan's long-delayed Bitcoin reserve bill, HB 4807, has advanced to its second reading in the State House after 7 months of inactivity. The bill would allow the Treasury to allocate up to 10% of its reserves into Bitcoin and potentially other digital assets. If passed, Michigan would join states like Texas, New Hampshire, and Arizona in formally recognizing Bitcoin as part of fiscal reserves, though only Texas has executed purchases so far. Supporters see it as a hedge against inflation, while critics warn of volatility risks. I can appreciate why states might be apprehensive, But I think it's a no-brainer to start accumulating some, even if it's not 10% of the budget or of the holdings at the state. Starting to accumulate some assets, some digital assets, specifically Bitcoin, only makes sense for the people in that locality, because people are going to do it, and the first ones are going to benefit the most. Canadian police seize $40 million in crypto. Oops, I lost my. Oh, there we go. Canadian law enforcement has seized $40 million worth of cryptocurrency as part of investigations connected to offshore exchange Trade Ogre. Never heard of it. Authorities allege the funds are linked to illicit activity and are part of a growing scrutiny of crypto exchanges operating beyond domestic regulation. The seizure highlights a coordinated international push to track illicit finance across borders and increases pressure on smaller trading platforms to meet compliance standards. Analysts say enforcement actions like this could reshape where liquidity flows in the market. I'm not sure of the details of how they seized these assets and exactly why, other than them just being unregistered. And I mean, if you're in the business, you probably should make sure that you're following as many rules as possible to keep yourself out of trouble. Bitflow has the best swaps on Bitcoin L2. If you're not aware, head over to bitflow.finance now and check them out. If you're interested in trading Stacks tokens, engaging in liquidity pools, they have the DEX aggregator, so you get the best swap prices and some really awesome options on pools and yield farming over at Bitflow. CZ outlines BNB's next phase. Binance founder CZ has outlined a new growth roadmap for BNB, emphasizing institutional adoption and real-world integration. The plan features a U.S.-listed BNB treasury aiming to raise $1 billion alongside initiatives for stablecoins and tokenized real-world assets. CZ positioned BNB as a multi-chain ecosystem designed to bridge retail and institutional use cases. Analysts say the approach could help Binance regain momentum amid regulatory headwinds, but execution will depend heavily on regulatory approval and market appetite for tokenized assets. Personally, I think we're going to see the battle of CeFi, centralized exchange finance, come down to BNB, Binance, and Coinbase. That's my expectation. ETF flows. Bitcoin spot ETF saw $163 million. I didn't share this tab the whole time, and I'm not paying attention. My bad, guys. Here I'm scrolling through. We just got CoinMarketCap on the page. I'm reading you the news. That's okay. ETF flows. September 18th, Bitcoin spot ETF saw $163 million in inflows, marking 6 straight days of demand. Ethereum spot ETFs outperformed with $213 million in inflows. That's actually stemming the bleeding because it's been several days in outflows in a row for Ethereum. So good to see them back in the positive. Oh, we have DeGrants Cohort 3 DeFi and Tooling Space at 2 p.m. today. Make sure you join in. I've already set my reminder, even though I'm hosting. We're hosting with the DeOrganized to help support. And if you guys aren't following Benai, Big Mac, they are the stewards for the DeFi and tooling track on DeGrants. If you're not familiar with DeGrants, you can go over to dgrants.xyz and learn more. All of the stewards are, in addition to Benai and Big Mac, ETH, Lagartia, Benai, awesome guys in the space. Myself and Hattie and Melanie, aka Good Kitty, are the other stewards. You can reach out to any of us if you have questions as well. Lots of trades in the last few days on the BNS marketplace at BNS1. If you guys are not aware, .btc, .stx names, and others are a way to engage with the Stacks blockchain and abstract the long string of wallet ID that you need to transact. It makes it a lot easier. There's more functionality with BNS V2 that just recently launched. You can update and add a lot of information, a lot more actionable stuff going on there. We talked about STX tools. These are the top 5 gainers for the last 24 hours on STX tools, and our full calendar for the day. Whatever morning space at 8 a.m. every Monday through Friday with Benta, GP, 300. Great. It's the place to get the good vibes with the DeOrganized Good Vibe Tribe. We do this show, the morning show, every Monday through Friday, starting at 8:30. We bring you the news, the information. We're going to have some conversation. I'll bring the homies on a little bit. We'll talk about what's going on in the ecosystem. At 9:30, the Game Master joins us for Find to Earn rounds. And if you aren't participating in the morning space, I think it's recorded. I think Binter records them. They are available. And I was surprised to find out that 300 does an excellent facsimile of the Game Master's laugh and some of his key lines. So I'm hoping to get him to do it on the show today. It would be hilarious. We have the weekly sip call with myself, Hero Gamer, and Hattie at 10:30. That's every Friday. We talk about Stacks improvement and community innovation, what's new, what's being built on Stacks, and what's up for change, and what's being proposed for changes to the blockchain to upgrade and move forward. That's at 10:30. We talk usually for about an hour about what's going on. At 2 p.m., we just talked about the DeGrants DeFi and tooling track space. That happens at 2 p.m. ET. At 5 p.m. is Purple Pill Friday with Dan and Brad. It is the best way to end up your week. The longest running stacks-oriented space on X. Been doing it for years with some OGs. Check them out. And then the DeOrganized Nightly Show with GP and friends at 7 p.m. every Monday through Friday, but every Friday. And I think there's usually some games on Friday night, so check that out too. And then we will get to just a quick word about our amazing marketing partners we have in the Stacks ecosystem. We are super, super fortunate to have some amazing DeFi protocols on Stacks, Bitcoin-oriented. StackingDAO is the leading liquid staking platform for the Stacks network. StackingDAO is changing the game by letting users earn up to 10% APY on their assets, on their STX, while keeping their assets liquid. Unlike traditional staking, their unique design means no minimums, and users start earning rewards immediately. So there are zero cost when switching from other stacking pools. Plus, you've got options. You can earn your rewards in STX or SBTC, whatever fits your strategy. If you want to start earning yields today, head over to StackingDAO.com and jump in. StackingDAO is where liquidity meets opportunity. And Bitflow is the top DEX on Stacks, letting you trade native BTC, STX, SBTC, USDC, runes, and more all in one place by aggregating the best prices on Alex, Arcadico, and Valar. Recently, Bitflow rolled out Flex pools, launching with STX, STSTX pools to support liquid staking assets, offering flexible deposits, smarter rewards, and deeper liquidity. Head over to bitflow.finance to check them out today. I'm going to bring in the homies. We got GP in the house. Well, he might be tied up with something. There he is.
There I am.
Happy Friday.
Let's go.
GP, are you multitasking?
When am I not multitasking? I mean, look, I got game assets behind me. I'm looking at charts. I'm talking to Benta and the Good Vibe Tribe. 1,000 things all at once. You know
what? Are you I just noticed something. When you're moving that camera around, you're getting a little bit of like audio clicky.
It's probably got wires crossed.
Is it possible you have a microphone on the camera?
No.
I just wondered.
No mic.
What's up, Hannah? How you doing today, man?
What up? Oh, good. Yeah, just coming out of the spaces. Yeah, and also GP's about to write a book. We forgot to tell you about that.
You're writing a book too, GP?
Yeah, I'm writing a book. It's called,
you should show him.
Unmute your mic.
What's up, Tinderly? How you doing today, brother? Can you hear us?
GM, sir. Yes, sir, I can.
Go. Looking good. So GP, hold on. You messaged me about a few things, and I want to, I didn't get the whole full detail of it, but some cool stuff. that you were mentioning. We can definitely use. We can definitely. It's just a tool we have to learn how to use. It wouldn't have any.
Yes.
We don't really need anything specific from Restream to be able to. You just take the stream key from OBS or our TMP key.
Just to fill everybody in, Crypto Dude has been cranking on several different fronts, and he is working on some stream overlays for whenever you do boost for broadcast. So I'm really excited to see what that looks like, see what type of creator economy comes out of that as well. Just more customization, right? It's going to be really cool to see, while we're streaming, you do a broadcast stream and then you get a pop-up, like an overlay that comes across the stream. Really, really cool stuff, man. So we're going to try to see if we can't test it out on the nightly, see if it works out, see if we can't maybe get that working, tonight. But if not, maybe we'll see it on Monday. So really cool stuff. Be sure to follow BoostX_app, CryptoDude_BTC, CryptoSmith_BTC. Those guys are cooking right now, dude. Last night we were conceptualizing for Cryptonauts for quite a few hours last night. We came up with some really, really cool stuff. So I'm going to be cranking on that over the weekend.
Let's go. Yeah, I think that there's some really awesome stuff that, Crypto Dude has been cranking on some real awesome stuff for a long time. Before BoostX, before Cryptonauts, he was doing his Derupt. He created the Deruptars NFT mint. If you don't know, you can go check them out, the Deruptars. He's got his Crypto Cash project and just constantly cranking in the space, man. So very interested to talk more about what you were mentioning. Maybe we'll take a look at him. Maybe we'll have it all sorted out by Monday. We can work it out. Ooh, hold on. Hana had a. There he is. He's back. Hana had a really interesting stream this morning. He streamed some sports, esports playing. Got a little bit of traction on that. Very interesting stuff. I think we might be maybe we'll do a little bit more of that on here too. Guys, let us know in the live chat if you think you'd like to see more gaming on the stream and stuff like that. Hey. We got Ice Arc in the house.
Hey.
Ice Man.
What up,
What's up, man?
Ice.
Happy Friday.
Friday to you too. To all of you.
Ice.
Let's go, dude. Ice, baby. Let's go.
Sorry to
So
barge
Pamela
in and
wasn't cold
interrupt. So
yesterday,
please
bro.
go ahead, and I'm gonna be here a little bit. So
Oh yeah.
Yeah, dude, you're welcome to come in anytime.
Man,
You
we
already
don't
know
have
what's up, bro.
we don't have an agenda. We just talk.
Thanks,
we're
man.
talking about
Yeah,
whatever. We can talk about whatever. But great to have you, man. Always willing, always happy to have you join. We were just talking about some of the cool things right now we were just talking about
Gaming.
GP and Hana and even Tinderly actually was technically gaming on one of our shows, although he wasn't streaming his screen. And Hero Gamer was a little a little frustrated about that, but he's a gamer. We have a lot of gamers in the community, and I think some gaming oriented content would be.
I'm cooking something for gaming too. Besides obviously the prediction market. But
Let's go.
I sent GP a little video yesterday. I'm not sure if you saw it.
Okay.
It's a totally retro thing.
Bro, you should let me check it out too, bro, because I am a real gamer,
dude.
and
I'll send it
Can
to
we
you
show
guys.
it now? Can we show
Sure,
it?
why not? Yeah, why not?
Yeah, let's go.
Andy?
Dun, da, da, da.
Obviously,
Let's go.
that's
All right, give me
do you have it, GP? The video I sent you?
Yeah, I'll pull it up.
It's just
I'll
a
pull
little
it up.
thing, we're building. It's still
Yeah.
on development, but it's pretty advanced. Obviously, it's a it's a now alpha you guys are gonna get, but it's a pretty cool thing. It's a retro little game we have here.
Oh, Pac-Man.
That's right, man.
SDX man.
But it's called Stacks Man, and we have also a version called BTC Man.
For SBTC and Stacks. This is dope. I love arcade games. Arcade games are a bunch of fun. I enjoy it. Look at the he's gobbling up the ETH logos.
That's right. And
over
just
here.
just the cool part of this is absolutely everything is customizable because we did it from scratch. So the board is customizable, the characters are customizable, what you eat is customizable. So we can have a DeOrganized board, or we can have a any board we want. And Alex the larv board, and the maps we can build them as we want. The path itself. So we have a few of them already built. We have levels. We are now working on the integration of the leaderboards. And once we finish with the leaderboard integration is when we integrate the wallets, the crypto wallets, obviously. And I had kind of devised a system of play to with leaderboards and all that. I have a Medium article that I posted a few months back. It's kind of based on that. So we'll see. It's probably gonna be fun, man.
Oh, it looks awesome, man. And I definitely I can see all sorts of things you could do with that on like customizable, like so like StackingDAO or BitFlow or one of those guys. You can have them be like they're gobbling up yield maybe.
Exactly. It's really I thought it was a really cool retro vibe, and we could do a lot of stuff. I've been building for quite some time. It's been months of building, but it's almost ready. So I said, why not? Let's start bringing it out and sneak peek at it.
And that's how we do a lot of. It's been a little quiet because there's less going on in that realm in our ecosystem, but we've done a lot of playing around testnet stuff and breaking stuff, trying new stuff. You do not have to have a polished product to bring it on DeOrganized.
That's right. Yeah.
It's actually almost better if it's not polished, because you're going to get different feedback from the audience. And
whenever we're ready, we could, why not do a DeOrganized board and just let's have it as a first, man, and you guys, we can launch it together, whenever that happens.
Yeah, man, definitely. I would love to.
Let's go.
Absolutely.
Let's go.
We will do that.
Another game.
You guys know, I'm always cooking something. That's another thing I'm just having. And just this one I want to do a little bit different. I'm doing Bitcoin World mostly in BRC2. Although the prediction market is with the Stacks contracts, Stacks smart contracts, so that's also in hybrid. But obviously the launch is in BTC and the BRC2 and so forth. But with this one, which is Stacks Man and BTC Man, I'm thinking my way of thinking is maybe a dual launch, with Stacks and also BTC. So I also I'm gonna talk to Jack to see about how he did the Space Invaders, the Stacks Invaders, with the DMT, and kind of maybe figure something out there. And maybe put a little bit of tokens inside too with the Stacks one. And I don't know, I still have to figure that out, but I think like a duo one would be interesting.
Idea, dude. That is interesting. That's super interesting. Making like the characters, the ghost, like customizable, the board,
everything.
Like,
and we're actually making a collection. It's gonna be an NFT / ordinal collection of ghost and little dudes and stuff. And obviously when eventually we'll figure out with whoever wants, again, StackingDAO, whoever wants to be there, we can figure something out. It's more of a community thing, and and then we just do a mint or simple thing just to get people on it and play and so forth.
I like it, dude. I like it. It speaks to my artist heart. I'm already thinking of things that I could cook to customize my own board and
Dude, man,
stuff like
you
that.
guys are hearing it first. You guys can customize your boards first. Let's figure this
Yeah.
out, man. And
Yeah.
Fly as a bird. Let's go.
This would take me way back. I remember the days Wester used to play Pac-Man in the arcades. So definitely,
yeah,
I'm gonna
totally,
play this.
totally.
And another game to beat Peace Love and GP and Zindali. Yeah, I'm coming for you guys.
I remember playing in the arcades like Pac-Man, Space Invaders, and there was one that I loved. It was called Galaga. I don't know if you guys
Yeah,
remember that one.
Galaga.
Yeah,
I love
I
Galaga.
remember that
I
one.
want to remake that
I'm
thing
too-
and do like a stacks Galaga or something. I don't know.
So we had an
So
Atari
good.
system when I was like 3 years old.
Yeah.
So I grew up playing
Yeah, me too.
and Pac-Man and Space Invaders and Galaga and all of that stuff.
There was one called Asteroids.
Asteroids,
Yep, asteroids.
Missile Command,
Yeah, man.
pole
Yeah.
position. And then when I think I was like 12 or 13 when the NES, the Nintendo Entertainment System, came out like for that Christmas.
Yeah.
And I didn't get one from my parents, and I had a paper route, and I bought my own. I was going to go buy my own system, and I couldn't afford the NES because if I bought the system, I didn't have enough money to get the games.
The games, yeah.
Atari still had a system out, and the games were way cheaper. So I was being the economical guy I was like, I'm going to buy the Atari, and then I'll get a bunch of games. So I even did like I ended up getting my own Nintendo a year later because I was industrious, but I bought an Atari in my preteens and
Playing
couldn't
Super
I couldn't
Mario.
get the NES. I played a
Yeah,
lot of
super
that.
cool. There was another one. I don't know if you guys remember it. It was called Intellivision.
I never played it, but I think I saw it at like my cousin's house.
That's the one that I saw second after Atari. And they had a super cool baseball game. It was really good, man. I also
Yeah,
played my
I
friend's house
remember
because
that
the one
one.
that I had was Atari.
What? Yeah,
And is this the one that did ping pong?
I think it did have the ping pong. I'm not sure, but it had like baseball and other games. The baseball was really good. The Intellivision one. Yeah, it had like a little round joystick. It had like a round joystick somehow.
like a circle. It was like
a circle one.
with
Yeah,
a
yeah,
dial.
exactly. Yeah.
Yeah. You could do right, and that was actually good for like driving too. It was a little bit better.
Actually, I also registered on block 1 for BRC2, the token arcade. So
Nice.
this is the one I'm relating to all these games, and actually I'm designing the logo right now, and I'm like, I have seen a lot of stuff, but I'm just like, I have to go to the Atari joystick. so I'm doing like a black with a red ball on top with a one fire button. So I think we're gonna go with that one. I don't know if I have it ready here, but let me look for it. If not, I'll show it to you next time.
Sick, dude. We need retro gaming on Stacks and Bitcoin in general. We need more fun things to do. So we're inspiring the change by facilitating the fun. Let's go, dude.
And honestly, if
Be a
there's
lot
more,
of
the
fun.
more
Definitely.
games we have, the more opportunities we have to create
Yeah.
shows around them too. Like
Absolutely.
talking about
Absolutely.
Hunter wants to do a streaming game show and like playing games, streaming, and I'm all about it. I'm all about it.
GP, yeah. And also playing even the retro games like these Pac-Man arcades, the likes of Cadillacs and Dinosaurs, Double Dragon, and a bunch of games that we need to play.
Well, soon we will be able to do like Stacksman tournament or something, and just go for it, man.
Yeah.
You can lead it, huh? Yeah.
Definitely. You know me.
Yeah.
What do you think,
We're
Jay?
making it-
Sir Peace, I was I did I did a rule CODM tournament where at the end, but I wanted him to win in as much. One soon, that will be like a battle royale. It's gonna be a team match because the other one was solo because we didn't have much people. So I'm gonna be posting the WhatsApp community for the Ru or the CODM tournament. So if you're interested, if you game or if you play CODM, you can just go to the comment section on this stream, and you join the WhatsApp community, or I get to open maybe a Telegram community. Everybody's not on WhatsApp, so I'll create I'll add the two to the comment section and just
Nice.
fun
So,
together and bit
just
some
for those that don't know, what is CODM?
Call of Duty Mobile.
That's right.
So you're doing Call of Duty mobile tournaments.
I think.
Yeah, I would love to stream some of that.
Oh, we lost him. Oh, I wanted to.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So, and you said there's some information in the.
Yes, sir.
You put a comment in the below the live stream about it, so people can go check it out.
Yeah, I'm gonna be, because we have a community where we get to talk about stuff. So like the other one we hosted, like what map we're gonna be using and some other stuff, and also to pass information. The other one was a solo match. This is gonna be like a team match where 4 people are gonna play. So it's gonna be a total sum of 100 people. So, and I think I was able to pull some people from different ecosystems, and also newbies that don't even know about Web3. Even a friend of mine that didn't know about Web3, he also joined the game. So this is a way to also onboard people to Stacks, and also have a little bit of community hype as well, if well strategized and well done. So yeah.
Awesome, man. Sounds great. Sounds real cool. I love it. And maybe when you're doing those tournaments, is there any video content? Are you recording, or is anyone streaming those?
Yeah, I am streaming it on my platform as well. So yeah. So it's gonna be an affiliate to DeOrganized too as well. I did forget to add DeOrganized to the ads on the live stream. But I'm gonna be doing it next time. So
yeah, if you
you guys
will be able to.
You have to watch. It's gonna be
share for you, but that's not a requirement, by the way. I'm just curious as to if you're streaming, and there's how long does the tournament usually go for, or the game run?
I think highest should be, depends on the gameplay. If it's easy, highest should be 10 to 15 minutes for a game. Highest, I think.
All right. So what we can do, what you should do afterwards, do you have access to like something like CapCut where you can make clips, or something that you can make clips out of what you should do is get some short clips out of those games and send them to us, and we'll share them out for you to kind of help you get some awareness and amplification that you're doing it. You know what I mean?
Yes, sir. And I won't be playing because I'm the host. So yeah.
Cool.
Ass is gonna be beaten. I want to see some 300s ass beaten for GP as well. GP is a newbie.
I left Call of Duty. I remember the time where they changed the gameplay. Season 1 was fire, but yeah, this new season it's more like pay to win. But if I'm playing with my other bros, yeah, it'll be cool. But playing with the other guys from the other side, you have to pay to win.
Yeah, it's a lot of pay to win is a problem. Like that's a conundrum for a lot of different platforms, and it makes sense that the game designers, the game studios need to get paid, but you're eliminating a huge part of your potential audience when you're engaging in pay to win. So
yeah, that is true.
I think that there are probably some solutions out there, though, in certain aspects. So
yeah, that was some tournaments. Some tournaments they get to you have to pay a sum of money, to enter. Then they give you a form. I don't do that shit.
Yeah, like
That's crazy.
yeah, you know what we
If
say.
you want to give out money, you give it out. If you want to, like,
Yeah, the pay to win aspect. What we're talking about is there is somebody who's got some great skins, great guns that are modded, no recoil. So yeah, that is why we need games like Cryptonauts. That's gonna be, everyone is gonna be equal. No pay to win, like you have an advantage over somebody else because you've got money and CP to buy these perfect skins.
Exactly. And don't get me wrong, having
but literally, yeah, but literally 300. Most times I get to most of my friends. What we do is you buy and we collect it from you, bro.
so, but I think that there's a happy medium there where you can create the competitive mode where people are getting ranked. That is not pay to win, and then you also have like a more fun engagement, like exhibition mode, where the skins actually do have some like real fun, overpowered functionality as a way to kind of flex and just have fun. That's separated from the actual like scoring and the ranking on the platform, so that you get the benefit of both, like, you know, the overpowered guns and the more fun, you know, interesting ways to play, but you're also making it a fair playing field as far as ranking goes and rewards and stuff like that.
Yeah, that is so true.
Yeah, and also the CODM tournament. I feel if this is gonna be frequent, we're gonna be doing something like a leaderboard or something. That would be nice too as well. But yeah, I'm still gathering ideas. So 300, if you have any ideas,
And also, if
I'll be coming to your DM too as well. You know, you're a good gamer.
yeah, big shout out. And also, what Peace was saying, I've been playing CODM for a while. What I found out is clips, they do get much traction if you cut those clips and cut the perfect moments, add a meme to that. You get much traction. You go and look.
Yes,
Yeah, you can go ahead. Go look for
those,
Go ahead, GB.
like they have it to where they're stacked on top of each other, right? Like our attention span is so short to where they're like putting a meme video behind it and then literal like information on top, and then having it like split screen on the shorts, the YouTube shorts and stuff. It makes for great content. You're right.
It gets engaged.
I used to do that. I used to stream also CODM back in the days. I would check on my channel what GP is saying is so true. Like you have your face, the other half, and the other top. There's your gameplay, and then something funny happens, or maybe you just
yeah, like a reaction video. You'll be like,
yeah,
woo!
and also clips,
Kinda.
also clips of it, and also PUBG got a lot of traction. PUBG, Free Fire, you can integrate with those other games. Don't just stick to CODM. Jump on to PUBG, because PUBG is really big when it comes to those type of gaming. Yeah, I downloaded Warzone last week and I've deleted it in less than a day because, bro, I try to play those guys. They don't play around when you're in Warzone. I deleted it and I was like, nah, this is not me.
I do pretty good in
Warzone. Niggas are very toxic.
So
the battle.
They so toxic.
I want to ask Iceman, Bitcoin World, you're going to be hosting these games on there, or is it going to be something where we might even be able to like have a game and even like host it on our website for like if we have a DeOrganized skin, and or like it can be in two places? Is there going to be like that? Is it going to be like can we embed it and stuff like that? Is it going to be embeddable?
This is what we're envisioning. Obviously MVP is for the testing out UAX, and a lot of stuff is not going to be ready. Like for example, adding liquidity outside liquidity, which Polymarket doesn't do at this moment. They take everything for themselves, all the profits or losses.
Right.
So MVP is about that. Then ideally, when AMM from Best in Slot comes out, we're gonna integrate a technology for BRC 2.0 tokens, and then integrate Acorns or Oracle or all the ones that we have. So obviously that's a bigger market as well.
Banana.
And what I envision is to have exactly what you're saying, a yes and no tool, like a widget that you could use on anywhere. I still have to design the ideas and the tech behind it. Obviously it's an idea I have, but the idea is that you can go eventually to our website, log in, or get the widgets you want and build the games you want, and you use our tech, you use the whole AMM system, you use the trading system, you use the charts, everything that we have, but you can embed it in your website. So yes, the idea is that's how I envision really growing. When you have 1,000 websites, or 10 or 100, just embedding your technology, and just simple things. Do you think DeOrganized will be started at 8:05 or whatever? Whatever you want to.
Will Peace be on time today?
Yeah, exactly. Whatever. It's
how many times will Peace say during the news?
Well, that's exactly what makes it fun. You just want to predict stuff, whatever, even if it's crazy, and allow people, if that's what they want to predict on.
So one of the challenges there will probably be, who's going in, like, for a market, like, as far as like my starter words, who's going to actually go and count them? Like, where's your source of truth to resolve the market in something like that? It's complicated.
Well, it all starts on processes that you can control. Items and markets that for a certainty what the result is. And obviously you cannot accept a market that you cannot account for the results. So obviously you have to go little by little. If price of Bitcoin is going to be 118 or more or less that such day, it's absolutely unequivocal that you will know that. And so you have parameters you can lock in at the beginning, and also whoever creates a market has to post a bond. And whoever eventually, when you resolve it, same thing. Whoever says this is resolved yes or no has to post a bond. Then it goes to to verification. Then then it goes to a consensus if there's not a verification. It's the whole process of how to do it. But yeah, if there's no way to account for an event, then you cannot build that as a market. You have to be able to account for an event. Let it be with an oracle, let it be with a party, or or a group of people. Obviously if you have 1,000 users playing, let's see if Peace does how many times, it'll be more than 10 or less than 10. You will have 100, 1,000 people or whatever just counting them.
Right.
So it could be a consensus thing, and then you have a way of resolving that consensus. You have all people voting. Hey, look, I counted 10. Here it's a proof. Here's this. Here's that.
To be honest with you, the AI tools are coming that will actually probably make it pretty easy, that you won't even have to have a person count them, because like we use
Autobot.
Opus, right? We use Opus clips, and one of the to make clips of our shows when I have time after the shows, we go and make clips. And when you can like do some things within the it's an AI tool. You drop in the link to the stream from YouTube. It goes through, it gets all the best clips, and then you can actually go in and do some other stuff. One of the tools is removing those kind of like non-actual word statements, so the AI can already tell when
all this is coming. But the most important thing about the how you program the platform is how you program the base of it. So we're doing MVP, we resolve the markets. Simple. Second step will be oracles. And third step is consensus. Consensus never fails. At the end, that's how crypto should be. It's about consensus, and it's about what the whole market says, and then how you verify that consensus is not gamed, and tricked and so forth. But that's what it's all about. That's what we're building. Obviously it takes time. It's complicated. It's not an easy question to resolve. But if you have the right idea and then you can walk the right path until you get there.
Yeah, it makes a lot of sense. By the way, good morning, Orange. You came into an interesting conversation. How are you today, man?
I'm very good. Good morning, and it's a very interesting conversation. So keep going.
Also, I think you were correct on what you were expecting from the rate cut, which was basically not much. Which I also agreed, by the way. I didn't.
Can I tell you? I told you so now, or do you want to do that?
You told us so.
No, shit is like it is what it is. So
That's right.
Either way, it doesn't matter.
Right. It doesn't. It's not right. I wasn't looking to trade based on the outcome of the rate cut or not. Anyway, it's just
and I just wanted. I prefer not to be right on this, but it is what it is.
Yeah, we are where we are in the market cycle, and the macro situation is also in play. There's a lot of politics going on, and honestly, it was really more about the speech after was not really conducive to juicing the markets. It just wasn't.
Not even that. It's also what they've told, or I don't know if it was in the speech or not, but that 6 people within the panel said they don't foresee any more rate cuts, and 9 said they see 2 more. So in all, it's not even 1 basis point.
Right.
And that's what's made people scared about what is coming.
Well, and then the jobs, the employment numbers came in with less jobless claims than expected. So
yeah, so it's a combination.
The economy's not in a situation where we really need to cut rates right now. To be honest, we want less. Inflation's still hot. There's producer pricing is still high. That's right now not being passed on to the consumers, but it's going to have to be. So I don't think we're going to get a lot of relief from the Fed for the cryptos.
Yeah, and it's a good thing, I think, for the economy in its whole.
It's a good yeah, I agree. It's not great for crypto and risk on assets necessarily, but it's good for people that need to put food on the table that they can afford. That's
so I think the time for crypto will come. Definitely, always happened. Will happen.
I'm not selling.
Exactly, but not right now.
Right. I'm trying to accumulate more fiat with which to live on.
Yeah, exactly.
So, guys, the Game Master should be here momentarily. Ice, thanks for joining. You're welcome to stay and play. Do not feel obligated to. Always a pleasure, man. I would love to actually have you just kind of drop in regularly anytime you want. You're always welcome to be part of the conversation. Tenderly, I love what you're doing with the Call of Duty mobile stuff, and just kind of how you just kind of permissionlessly go and do stuff. I want to encourage you because
more.
I know that there's kind of a lot. Sometimes it's a little bit of a joke. We are young, and people are like, "Oh, we need to discipline him a little bit more." But I want to encourage you to keep doing what you're doing. I want you to understand that I'm a huge fan of you and what you're doing in the ecosystem. And I wanted to say that before we roll into the games because I do think that you're doing good stuff, man. Real quick, I'm going to play a quick word from our sponsors, and we will be back with Fine to Earn rounds and the Game Master momentarily. You all please stay tuned. The Game Master has arrived in his true form. How are you today, sir?
GM Mortals, as eternal as ever. Let the hunt begin.
Let the hunt begin. We have a bunch of Find to Earn rounds for you today. First rule of Find to Earn, you must share out the live stream, guys. So if you're here to play, share out the live stream. The last thing you want is to be the first one to find the prize, only to have the Game Master take the prize from you because you didn't follow the rules. Share out the live stream. Games are launched on the Skullcoin BTC page on X. You can definitely go monitor those pages, but you have a distinct advantage because we give you a countdown before each round on the live stream. So stay tuned into the live stream so that you know when the game rounds launch. You don't want to have, and a lot of times we actually have like the difference between winning and coming in second or third is only like a second or two. So you don't want to miss the countdown. You want to get that live so you know when to refresh your screen and get the game rounds. Also, make sure you're liking and reposting the game rounds. We have our first round that we show every day, and to encourage people to tune into the live stream at the start of the show. We have our first round. We show the location live, and this is what we're going to start with today. We got another BPEPE round. I think this is the right one. Yep. The BPEPE lawn gnome. He's ready to go. He looks a little sad.
Got GP.
I like it. So one thing I want to show you guys, you're going to get a starting location link to bring you into Google Maps. You start at that location, you drop in, and then you're going to be looking for this image in Street View. Everything will be here except for the Pepe. The bench will be there, the walkway, the path, the ramp. Everything's going to be there. This gate, terracotta roof, all sorts of things for you to kind of identify. Then you're going to see this share button right here. If you click on that share button, a little box pops up. You copy the link. You go drop that under the game round. First person that finds it gets the prize for the round. We have a bunch of sponsorships from some amazing meme coin communities. Round number one is by Bitcoin Pepe, the Orange Frog, the Pepe on Bitcoin. It's the first Pepe token and the only one you need to know about, Bitcoin Pepe. And that round is going to launch momentarily. I'm going to give you guys a countdown, but first I'm going to get ready. Because I think, are we going to do the multi-screen share today, guys?
Yeah,
Yes.
I'm going to share my
All
screen.
right, so me, Hunter, and GP are all going to screen share at the same time. We're going to do it a little bit differently so you guys can see our screens. Everyone else can still stay in. No one else has to. If you are playing, you can absolutely share your screen. Orange, if you want to. Ice, if you want to. You guys absolutely can, but do not feel like you have to.
Good luck on this.
And let me just get myself ready so I can make sure I am. All right, so I'm on the page and we're going to launch in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Let's go.
Hyundai.
Let's go. Let the hunt begin. This
So,
game is
all right,
open
so we
for
got to
everyone.
organize some of these screens.
All right.
Is that what we got going on? Organizing?
Yeah, so what we're going to do is we're just going to, I'll take care of it.
Okay.
What we're going to do is we're
All
going
right,
to,
let me refresh the screen.
the guys that are sharing, I
We
have
are on
to
the
hide
Skullcoin
your
BTC
camera
page.
and just share your,
Yeah, today we just tested. Just try to understand how it can go. I believe we have a lot of players playing, so here will be the fast wins, but the share screen
oh, we lost Hunter.
is interesting for the jackpot rounds.
There we go.
because jackpot rounds is hard.
We're gonna do a what for the jackpot round?
I mean, sharing the screen for jackpot rounds is the best thing, like, because it's hard, difficult ones.
We can do it for all of them. So
Oh,
I think
Yeah.
how does it look right now?
Yeah, we can like add the additional price to live panel. So the first prize, for example, goes for the actual winner, and since live panel cannot cheat, they show in their screens. So we just give additional 10 stacks for a live panel winner.
That works. All right. So a lot of the architecture is very similar in here. So I'm gonna zoom out and see if I can find. So just kind of talk everybody what I'm looking for is in that first image, that gate. And see if I can kind of see the difference between the gate. I see the overhang on that walkway. That might kind of show up different.
Yeah, it's small town, so it's not so hard to find.
Could be right over here somewhere.
I'm not sure why my screen is not showing, or at least.
Okay, we have a winner. PeaceLoveMusic for live panel.
Let's
On
go.
that.
Let's go.
Let's go.
Hyundai.
PeaceLoveMusic will receive additional 10 stacks. Okay.
And the Great One .stx won proper. Well
Right.
done. Well done.
The first winner is the Great One, 500k Pepe, and the second winner from live panel is PeaceLoveMusic.
Let's go.
Let's go. Come on, Scan.
Hyundai. Vamos.
All right. So we got
GP or Peace. How do I share my screen in tandem with you guys?
you have a screen share button, or you can press hotkey H,
Yeah.
select your screen
Yeah.
that you want to share. You
Mhm.
have it shared now?
Yep.
I don't see it on there. Let me see. Oh, now it's on there. There we go. And then I just turn off your camera, so it's just your. I turned it off. Is that what I did?
Yeah.
Where's-
Sounds good.
Where is he though? He's not on here.
Okay, we play whitelist while you making settings. We play whitelist
Orange
game
is
for
on a
our
drop.
newcomers. We start in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Let's go. The first game is on for whitelist, and we have one more game for whitelist.
Let's go.
Hajime.
Hajime. Guys, whitelist is really easy. We got this POS box at the retailer, the Galleria. You're looking for the Galleria. You kind of click on the link. Guys that are streaming, make sure that you switch between tabs when you're sharing. And usually for the open rounds, where's the Galleria there? Usually for the, I'm sorry, not the, usually for the whitelist rounds, just go forward. I'm going going past it. This is definitely a shopping mecca wherever we are. Houston? I've never been to Houston.
I went through Houston to get back home from Vegas.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
You flew into Houston?
Yep.
That's interesting.
Yeah, because I had to go south and east.
Definitely more east than south.
Got it.
Most definitely more east.
Okay, we have winner. It's KLT Sali.stx. Congrats. We continue.
That's cool.
Let's go.
Oh, congratulations.
Let's play one more whitelist game for our intermediate players.
Okay. Get ready, hunters.
Good luck, hunters.
By the way, Zenny, just to let you know, if you're ever sick and can't fulfill your duties as the game master, I'm pretty sure that all we need to do is get him a skull coin mask, and Hunter can do a reasonable facsimile.
Yeah,
Yes.
that's amazing idea. If I think about it a lot, so if I die because I'm already undead, but if something happens for me, like Arya Stark founds me like a Night King and kills me with dragon knife, so everyone can continue this legacy because our goal to make like Fine Turn forever. And this project will continue going, so it's no problem if I die. It's continuous. And
Thank you, say.
also,
I'll take over.
yeah. Also, like I want to mention, like we are this weekend we are producing a video for Fine Turn. Maybe next week it will be ready with leaderboard. So a lot of things coming.
Let's go.
Yeah, what I wanted to say, like if somebody or anybody watched, there was anime called Code Geass. Code Geass was one of amazing animes. So the idea there was Lelouch. There is a character Lelouch like Zero, and so the story will be the same. I don't want to make a spoilers as with Zero, with Game Master. Maybe in chat, knows about the Zero. Okay. Let's play one more whitelist round.
Let's go. Let's go. We need a countdown?
Yeah, please make countdown.
All right. In 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Let's go.
Let's go.
Let's go. Find the deal.
Yeah, Zenny, I was imitating you in the space. I think I I made everybody happy, and yeah, and I also made the Zenny laugh, and everybody enjoyed it.
It was great. It was great. He did the laugh. He had it down.
Nice try. Nice try.
It was good.
GM Motors.
Okay.
GM Motors. You
Good
just
one,
you have to borrow me the mask. Yes, sir.
Definitely, we can make. There could be like a lot of game masters, to be honest, in future. We need to scale, and we plan to scale.
That's right.
One day.
That's right.
Okay, Queen, soul drop location, but I don't see the correct balcony, to be honest. Where is this balcony? I cannot find it by myself too.
We are looking for a Leo cat on the back.
So what's different about this balcony? It's got the downspout. Different windows on either side.
I'll put my mother on it.
I'm not sure if that's the right one. Could be. No, we need the blind. Is it that one? No. I think
Somebody find this balcony because I cannot find it. Okay, let me check where is it. I need to call to Underworld.
I think this is it. Copying the link. I can't drop it because I'm
GP
not.
found it.
Oh, I see the trick. So the trick it's a
Oh, the girl.
double road move. So we want to see the winner who actually on this right spot, because when you move forward, you can see this. You can find this location only by moving backward.
Ah, it was tricky.
Sometimes Game Master creating some like pure madness things.
Sometimes, most of the time.
Okay, where is the balcony? Who found it? Let me check. Sensei Bloyan, Aidan.stx. I need exactly this balcony. Okay. In notification, we'll check who will be the first. And we define the winner soon. Notification gives us opportunity to see who was the first. Okay, the first person was dinsimak.btc who found exactly balcony in light. Congrats.
Congrats. Let's go.
Handy.
Okay, the next round, everyone get ready. The next round will be open round for everyone. It will be double round, double flat.
Double flat. The flat is real, folks. Get back for the flat earth round. Huge shout out to Leo Coin, by the way. Huge fan of Rubes. All he does in our ecosystem. Tremendous value add player in the platform.
Next round we'll have 2 winners. Get ready, everyone.
Double round for Rube. Get ready. I mean, Leo, get ready. Wait, what? I'm sorry. What was it? Double round for Rube? Flat. Double round for flat.
Okay, we started in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Let's go.
Let's go.
Monday.
2 winners. Each winner will receive 1,200 flat.
Let's go. All right, so there's 2 here. You got the mountain. You got the little cabin with the machinery there. Guys, don't forget to like and repost the game rounds and make sure you're sharing out the live stream. It's very important. It helps us grow. If you like having these games to play on a regular basis, share out the live stream to make sure that we're getting value for our sponsors. Plus, it's more fun when we bring in more players. We have more people competing. We get better prizes. We get more sponsors. We get more game rounds. And we get more opportunities for you to win. And it helps us stay broadcasting as well. So share out the live stream, please.
And it's gonna be lit, especially when the leaderboard is gonna be live on the website.
Yeah, exactly. That's absolutely true as well.
Yeah, because like so we want to connect everyone, hunters, listen, we want to make connection between USDX wallet and your X profile. So you have to connect your profile to your X wallet, STX wallet, and in leaderboard everyone can find everybody as STX wallet and X profile. We still have no winners. Come on, hunters, the flat is Earth. We need exactly locations. We have a lot of answers we're checking right now. Okay, seems like Elder Statement got the location with the mountain view.
Let's go.
Elder
Congratulations.
Statement winner, the first winner. And we have still no winner for machine. Orange was second, DJ and Hash, Saki. We still have no winner for machine for this vehicle. Yeah, everyone just focused on this mountain view. We have already winner, it's Elder Statement. We continue. We still have no winner for vehicle.
Where is this?
We are looking around in Switzerland.
Oh, we're
Some
deep
very
in
Usually I
nice
choose
location.
Switzerland for flat earth because like there is only grass. Switzerland is full of grass.
So we're trying to see. It's interesting.
Okay, the winner for vehicle is Wayne Hazel.
Hey, let's go.
We need for the win. Let's go.
Let's go. Let's go.
Okay, we have last round jackpot for today. The big prize, 50 stacks. Get back everyone, 1 minute for you.
Last round. Get back. Jackpot round coming up.
Okay, we have 21 comments. Very good. Don't forget to repost and like.
Peace.
Yes.
Do you perhaps know why my wallet got sent 50 STX like randomly? And it was a contract call. Like many.
I don't know, but maybe Zenny does.
I have no idea. Daddy, who are you? Who the hell are you? Are we met before?
No, I don't know you. You don't know me. Nice to meet you.
So, to answer your question, I don't know, but I think I know.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, jackpot round, 50 stacks. Anyone can play from any place in the world. You need just a internet connection, maps, your phone. You can play from mobile, from desktop, 50 stacks.
50
The
stacks
winner-
up for grabs.
We give you like 5 minutes. In 2 minutes, we give you the clue. Maybe in 3 minutes. Please make countdown and let's go.
Who wants to do a countdown?
I'll do one.
4.
And
Fuck you. 3, 2. Sorry, GP.
Let the hunt begin. Okay,
you're the
let's
best
go.
counter, bro. Like you can
Let's
count to 5.
go.
Impressive.
Still in countdown. Still in
I
countdown.
can count to 5.
Look at me. I'm orange. I can count down backwards from 5. Well good.
Okay, let the hunt begin. 50 stacks.
Good luck, hunters.
Go.
You know, I can say this. You may not like the games, you may not like the show, but we have fun.
I heard.
And a lot of love.
Don't forget to like and repost the game. I see Sir Conilingus in play. Yeah. So the bigger
Let's
prizes will be, the big audience will cover. Simple as that. For example,
onboarded.
jackpot. Some people can come just for jackpot games in the end of show.
And that's okay.
Yep.
Yeah.
We onboarded Sir Cunnilingus. Let's go, dude.
That's right.
Complete Chad.
Where do I want to go here?
Say kind of what?
We
What's
still
that?
have no winner.
Don't make it too hard, Anthony.
You're not first. You're last.
It's hard enough, but when the clues goes, it will be very easy. Because the clue gives you direction. Okay. Please tell me when to drop the clue. Let's give them 1 minute more.
Yeah, you know what? I want at least 5 comments in the live chat before we drop a clue. So you guys, if you want that clue, drop a comment in the live chat.
Yeah. Be active in live chat. Or you will be the forever here in sense.
And I got to keep the stream going until 10:30 anyway, so I'm not in a hurry to go into intermission. We'll wait. We got comments? Nothing yet. No one's made a comment since I said, oh, all right, Megaphone, we got one. Megaphone wants a clue.
By the way, I don't see the messages in chat. Oh, here it is.
All right, we got Echo. GP wants that clue bad. GP's comment doesn't count. and double comments don't count either, Echo, but I appreciate it. We're at 2. We need 3 more comments from you guys. You guys got to, if you want the clue, you got to stop hunting for a minute. Say hi in the live chat. It doesn't even have to be say drop a clue. Just say hi in the live chat, whatever. You can say, we love you, peace, love music. All right, so hold on. We got Saki. We echoes again. That still doesn't count, although I like the laugh emojis. We just need 2 more, guys. Elder Statesman giving us a clue. Giving us a comment. We just need 1 more, guys.
No, we don't, because I found it.
Let me check.
Orange.
I hope I found it. Let me see it.
Did you really find it? That'd be nuts.
I'm not sure if it's right one, to be honest. Let me check. No, it's not the right one.
Damn it.
You're so good at
That's my
finding, bro.
Who did that?
That was definitely GP.
Yeah.
Yeah, GP and Orange. We need to put them in a UFC match because it'll be very
All right.
interesting.
When he asked for a clue, that's 5. Zenny, you can give us the clue now.
Okay, orange may be close. I don't know. Okay, when I drop the clue, it will be easy, really.
Where's the
ready,
clue?
everyone.
Where is the clue going to be? Are you going to drop it in the comments, or are you going to tell us live?
Yeah, I'm start to tell in live and drop in the comments, because that's how can we make it like on the show.
I just noticed something interesting. I'll share with everybody after.
Okay, I'm preparing to drop in the clue. Everyone get ready. Follow the clue, follow our compass to decrypt the world and find location. You have to go on southeast from the starting location. Southeast from the town.
Southeast, let's go.
So the worst part
Southeast.
about that is I already went southeast.
The worst
you
part
taking
is
your ass
that I
back
dropped
south?
the answer. What was southeast?
I also looked southeast.
The last time it was southeast.
I think Zenny just mixed up with the clues, because I found it already. He didn't want to say that because
Yeah, sure, because like we have agreement, you have to find it in 2 minutes later.
yes, indeed.
Is that what that contract call is all about?
Oh,
paying-
I see.
He's paying Orange not to find the rounds too fast.
yeah, exactly.
Yo, dude. I'm not gonna front. Orange is pretty good at find earn.
He's very good.
Did you just say pretty good or
Yeah.
very good?
I said very good.
Okay. I just want to set
I
the
said
record
pretty
straight that I'm very good.
We'll see on
Very
leaderboard.
good.
Everything we'll see on leaderboard, yeah.
That's not it. Found some PVC though.
Yeah, man, where the fuck
Hey,
are these
Hunters,
pipes?
come on, 2 minutes more, it's easy, like.
Excuse my French.
2 minutes, guys. 2 minutes.
Southeast. Let's go. Everyone just followed the orange and dropped the same location that found by orange. No, this is not the right one.
Wow.
You just know that everyone just click on my answer and try to pass it on as their.
Yeah.
Well, that's because
I mean,
people thought
you guys
that,
gotta get good.
people thought that Zenny was saying that you didn't get it just to make the game go longer, but that's not actually what happened.
Okay,
got
Peace,
seizure.
what do you think? Like 2 more minutes, or we just give them 1 minute, or we just finish?
It's up to you. It's up to you. We can.
Okay, 1 minute more. If no winner, we will move price to Monday. We will not play the easy games.
Come
here.
on, hunters.
Come on, hunters.
Secure the gains.
You know direction.
Let's go. Let's go. You can do it.
Trihana, you can do it also. Just drop.
You can do it.
Trihana, find
Yes,
location
sir.
finally. Trihana, just go like on bottom right. Easy.
Yeah.
I'm dyslexic. I've been looking in the southwest.
You got lost. Lost in the
Yeah,
south.
dude. Oh, shit, dude. Can't make this up. It is Friday. We are almost through with the week.
What a week.
Prime time, grind time. Yeah, what a week.
And busy week. We are excited about what's coming, though. Lots of cool things happening. Lots of people getting together and collaborating on stuff.
Yep. Lots of building.
The only thing that's crazy about this week is X changing their algorithm. Now tweets are not even reaching anywhere.
Oh, dude. It's freaking insane.
Well, yeah, but we will, that's why our show and fine tune is important. We get real people. And you cannot, the algorithm cannot, evade the real people.
That's true. That's true. And
It's just made for
right.
us. Okay, 30 seconds, hunters. Stop it.
you know what? Maybe we should make. I don't know that there's people that aren't following us that are playing regularly anyway, but I wonder if that's something we should do is to make sure that the players have to be following Skullcoin and DeOrganized. That way that they're more likely to get the tweets and the posts when we go live and stuff like that. I'm not going to tell people they have to turn on notifications because I can appreciate where that might be tedious.
Yeah,
always
I
can.
mean, it would make sense though if you want to be in the game.
Yeah. I'm not going to make it a requirement to play, but you absolutely should if you want to know when the game rounds are going to be played.
Okay, we have no winner. We move the price to Monday.
We have no winner. We will move the price to Monday. I don't know if I'm on the right road or not. It's a southeast bound road.
Okay, I dropped the coordinate. The price on Monday will be bigger, 60 stacks. Everyone get ready. And Orange, we just move our contract to Monday.
Okay. Okay.
All right, let's see.
Everyone check where is
Monday.
location.
Let's see. So we're going to the southeast. Here is the coordinates. And I'm going to drop them in.
Okay, you're right. It was not the right one. I am in defeat.
You was close. Okay, I won. But price goes bigger. So I can never win in long range.
There it is. Right there. And one thing I noticed in the image, it had this. I could tell that by the orientation of this, which side of the road I had to look on. It's a little bit of the compass actually will tell you in the image, if the compass is there, which side of the road you have to look on with orientation to north.
Yeah, but anyways, like it's always good for the game, for the show, for fine turn, because the price will be bigger on Monday.
I like it. I would love to know what people think about the screen share and all of that too. Did you guys like it? Is it better with the multiple screen shares? What do
Yeah,
y'all
maybe
think?
Orange will have some ideas. So we just need to invite people here to play and divide the price between them somehow. We'll see. And also, like everyone, just from site, from new players, will see how it goes in like professional manner and how it's possible to find location easily. Everyone will see it's fair competition, like finally.
I like it. I like it. So you guys are gonna be dropping a video about about like with the leaderboard and stuff, or is there gonna be some alpha on there as well?
Can you repeat, please?
You're gonna be dropping a video. You're gonna be dropping a video for Skullcoin and Find to Earn this weekend.
No, in the next week, I'm going to studio in Monday. We produce the promo video for Fine Turn. It's like idea, like different people from different sides of like planet of countries just get the notification on their phone, and somebody like start playing and find some kind of location, and this location turn like animation to like the another reality. There is a Pepe throwing the coin to the camera, and bam, fine turn.
I like it.
Something like this. We just working on scenario.
All right, very cool. Guys, we're going to take a brief intermission at in about 15 minutes. Haro and Hattie will be joining us. I think we have actually I said the wrong thing. I said we had Larry, but we actually have Bryce coming on to talk about I think Clarity 4 and some updates on that. So really cool. We're going to have a great panel. I'm being told we have Bryce, Gary, Dan T, Eric, Hadan, and then Hero Hattie, myself, and GP will be here as well. So super excited about that. Stay tuned. We'll be back in about 15 minutes. Thank you for joining us today. Ice, Orange, always a pleasure, my guys. Zenny, great show. Hannah, GP, love you guys. And we'll be back in about 15 minutes. Thank you guys so much. I am PeaceLoveMusic. We are DeOrganized Media coming at you live every Monday through Friday. Peace out. Thank you, Ice.
Thanks, Ice.
Thank you.
Love you. Bye-bye.
All right. Guys, stay tuned. We'll maybe play something in the middle of it periodically to entertain you or not. We don't know yet, but we're going to get the rest of my coffee, get your break, and we'll be back in about 15 minutes with the Sip Show. We'll talk to you soon. Let's go. Guys, we have an amazing episode of the Stacks Improvement and Community Innovation Show today. We have an amazing panel, probably the best one or the most loaded one, I'd say, we've had in a long time. We're going to talk about Clarity 4 and what's coming up. I'm just going to bring everybody on. We got a lot of people. You guys all know GP. What's up, GP?
Good morning.
Don in the house. It's been a while, brother. How you been?
How's it going, guys? Good to be on.
Good.
What's up? What's up, Don?
Yeah, great to have you here. Hero Gamer. What's up, Hero? How you doing today?
What's up, guys? Yes, feeling good.
All right. We got Bryce in the house.
Hey, everyone.
Author. You're the author, right? Is that correct?
That's right. Yep.
Right. Right on. And we have Gary. What's up, Gary? How you doing, man? Been a while.
Good to see everybody.
We've got Eric in the house. How you doing, Eric?
What's up, guys?
Good to see
Morning.
you.
Morning.
And Dan Trevino. What a crew. How you doing today, Dan?
Doing great.
So we are going to be talking about I don't remember what the SIP number is, but the Clarity 4 SIP proposal for upgrades to Clarity. And I'm going to not say too much. I'll ask some questions, but there's people much more qualified to talk on this than me, and they're all here today. So welcome, gentlemen. Hero, I guess I'll let you kind of introduce the topics and the discussion.
Yeah, so welcome everybody. Thanks for everybody for joining. So Clarity 4, for those who may not know, has been flown around, and I've seen posts from Eric, Bryce, different people about it, and it's in GitHub as a PR already, so it's being written up. But yeah, it's a chance for the whole Stacks ecosystem to get familiar with this. It's an important upgrade. It is a consensus breaking upgrade, as far as I know, so that, it's only right that the community deserve to hear more about it and maybe ask some questions. So just invited, different type of people here so that we can all chime in our perspectives, ask different questions to Bryce, and Bryce can, tell us anything that he wants to know, wants people to be aware of, just educate us in general. So yeah, we're very lucky here to have a co-developer, Bryce. Maybe we can just quickly go around the room for those who maybe don't tune in every day, haven't met some of the developers. So yeah, why don't we just quickly go around the room, introduce ourselves. Why don't we start with Bryce?
Sure. Thanks, Hero. And thanks everybody for having me on. I love the show that you all do every week. So yeah, I'm working on Stacks Core. I am the lead author for this SIP, although it's really been a super collaborative effort. My task has basically been like proposing something, getting a whole bunch of feedback from people, iterating, and we end up with something I think everybody's really happy with. So yeah, I guess that's my role here, and I'm happy to talk through all the different parts of it.
Awesome. And honestly, I think that this has actually been we're moving the SIP process forward. We're getting more engagement, and this is actually how it should go, where there's a lot of conversation and iron things out before it goes to the community at large, just for voting and stuff. So huge shout out to everybody that's been engaged and involved in this. Gary.
And also shout out to Peace and Hattie. I've been selecting them to come and help in the process. Hattie take on just be the right hand person to Larry, Peace trying to be a right-hand person to another SIP author, so that we can take the load of the author. They can focus on their craft. We can help them coordinate. So it's a group effort. Just want to make sure everybody understands.
And since we're on that page, Hero gets a ton of credit too for organizing all of this. None of this would have happened without his tremendous efforts for the last year plus. I'm just kind of riding along with him for that. But let's go around the room. Gary, why don't you give us a quick introduction?
Hi, everyone. Thank you for having me. Thank you for the invitation. Yeah, I've been around Stacks for 5-6 years now, building my own projects, helping others build their projects. I run Zero to Clarity, which is a nice group for starters who want to get into Clarity for the first time. We get together every 2 weeks or so. And always happy to join this type of conversation and kind of try to extrapolate the complex into the simple.
Awesome. A huge fan of Zero to Clarity, by the way. If you guys aren't aware, check them out. It's, every other Tuesday morning they have their meeting. Eric, I have to commend you on your amazing shirt. That Fact Fund shirt is lit. I actually do have one myself, and now I'm super FOMOing about not wearing it today. I love it. Why don't you give us a little bit of an introduction about yourself?
Yeah, 100%. Shout out to Rafa for all of the amazing stuff he's building at Factory.fun. But yeah, I'm Eric. I am a developer advocate at Hero. In my role, most of it is surrounding content education and community for our dev community in Stacks. Me and Bryce has done some content before on the new Clarity 4 changes, as you may have seen on either my Twitter or on the Hero Twitter. So yeah, today I'm looking forward to basically trying to amplify more of these changes and maybe ask some questions to help kind of clarify some nuances that either senior or new developers might need to know of. So
awesome. Dan Trevino, how are you today, man? Why don't you give us a brief introduction about what you're working on?
Morning. I'm Dan. I've been around for several years as well, working on Boom. Worked with some Bitcoin startups, and now I'm back to Boom. Multiple layers of that, actually. So author of SIP 16, I think, 13, whatever the metadata, NFT metadata standard was. With Frieger, co-authored with Frieger, and I have a proposal for StacksPay out there currently that's still being refined, and continuing to build on top of what we're trying to build with StacksPay. And we just launched BoomPay last week on the show, or on the morning show. It was this show. And then obviously the Boom app, which is the more user-facing, kind of streamlined onboarding interface for that.
Awesome. Huge fan of Boom, by the way. If you guys aren't, it's boom.money. Get over there. Still just taking people on the wait list, right, for now? Just collecting emails?
Yeah, we have some alpha users who've been testing and things like that.
But new users that are curious can go drop their emails in and maybe get on that list.
Yeah, absolutely.
Hattie, how you doing today, man?
Hey, everyone. This is an amazing panel. So, Hero, thanks for putting together. And obviously, the host and co-host, thanks for being here. Dan, nice to see you again. Bryce, first time. So, Gary, you and I know each other. Eric, first time. And Hadan, we know each other as well. So, hey, all.
Right on.
Morning, Hattie.
Welcome. And why don't you give us a little bit of an introduction as to what you're working on these days? Oh, are you with us? I don't know if
may have lost him.
Hadan might be having a little bit of technical difficulty. I don't know if he can hear us.
Oh, sorry. Can you guys hear me?
Oh yeah. I'm sorry. I just said hi. And why don't you give us a quick introduction as to what you're working on?
Sure, guys. So I'm Hadan with the Alex Lab Foundation. Alex being one of the Stacks Bitcoin DeFi OGs. I'd say this is really a great space to be on, because really one of the
one of the major items in the Alex roadmap is that we're really looking forward to sort of Clarity 4. We've been in touch with a lot of Stacks devs like Marvin Jessup and Jesse Wiles. A big shout out to them both and the other core devs who have discussed some of the functions that are in Clarity 4 and how those are really key in the Alex roadmap and take us forward to launching our concentrated liquidity platform. So yeah, looking forward to sort of discuss that and how I think Clarity 4 opens a whole lot of new doors, and that together with SIP 31 I think promises a really excited future. I'm very bullish on for Bitcoin DeFi and the Stacks ecosystem.
Awesome. And honestly, I skipped over him, but don't want to make him least important. My co-host with the most. DP, in respect for everybody's time, don't go into everything you're working on because we'll be here all day. But give us a quick, just give us an introduction of what you're working on in the ecosystem so these guys know what you got going on.
Yeah, so I wear many hats. I'm an NFT artist. I'm working on Crypto Dude with Stacks authentication and Unreal Engine. So we're creating GameFi on Stacks. That's our main gig right now. And big shout out to Crypto Dude and the BoostX crew and what he's doing.
Awesome. Hero, why don't you take it away?
Yeah, so why don't we start with a question for Bryce? So maybe just interesting. I'm curious, what inspired you to create this SIP or author this SIP in the first place, and then we can go into you can go into what it is about, and then
Sure. Yeah. So there's a whole bunch of great ideas flying around for things that we should add to Clarity. There's a GitHub repository where people can create issues there and have discussions about them. But with this one, what we're trying to do is pick out the things that are like vital to some of the core projects on Stacks right now. So these are things that are enabling better safety security for big applications. And as we get into the details, we can talk about like how they specifically help. But basically the idea was to pick out a relatively small number of things that we can do pretty quickly and get them implemented and rolled out as soon as possible. And then this will also kind of help us work the muscle of improving Clarity, and so we can kind of be better at doing it in the future. Because like I said, there's a whole bunch of ideas on the lineup that people are itching to get out there. So yeah, this is basically a set of ones that we thought that were both very important and not terribly difficult to implement, so things that can be done pretty quickly. And like I said before, a lot of feedback from users. Like I took ideas from that repository from Marvin, and Jude had a bunch of the concepts for the post conditions that we can talk about, and then just discussions with everybody about once we have an initial proposal out there, how do we tweak it, how do we make it a little more user friendly, how do we make it a little more safe by default, all that kind of thing.
Which repo is it?
Let me
the
share
Clarity specific repo, right?
Yeah, let me share a link to that.
And would you encourage like the builders to hop on there from time to time?
Oh yeah, absolutely. If anybody's interested in Clarity, the language, and if you have ideas, or even if you just write Clarity and you're like, man, I always wish I could do whatever, open an issue for it here and we can start a discussion about it. Because this repo will be the place where all these ideas will come from.
Yeah, that's really awesome. So yeah, why don't you give us a quick intro to what is Clarity 4? What are the main pieces in this upgrade? And then like all the panel speakers, feel free to jump in and make an interactive session.
Cool. Yeah, sure. All right. So the first point is being able to get a hash of a contract. So if I am, say, some kind of marketplace and I want to interact with contracts that I don't necessarily approve of ahead of time, so this is like user submitted contracts in a marketplace. Sometimes you want to just be able to ensure that when you call that contract, your assets are protected. Sometimes you want to make sure that contract exactly matches some code template that you have. So this first one of being able to hash a contract is when you have like a template that you can say, okay, I'll accept your contract into my marketplace or whatever it is. It could be a bridge, but it has to match this exact template. So we've seen some hacks. We saw a hack previously this year that was basically centered around this problem where there's a more complicated way that you could do this in Clarity today, but as we saw, it's a little bit error prone. So this kind of brings in the simplest case for this, to just you call contract hash past the contract principal, and you get a hash that you can compare against what you expected. So this one is all about safety for when you're interacting with unknown contracts. So that's number one. I'll pause there, see if anybody has anything to add or ask about that one.
Well, I think like the one thing that I need to clarify for myself, and I know when you say hash, like it's in some ways it's self-evident, but not to everybody. So you can't necessarily look up a specific part of the contract. It's not, you're not sort of able to get like this text version of the contract, and you're not able to say necessarily like, does the contract have this in it? Does it? It's really like, it will either take the full contract and that turns into a hash, or it won't. So just to clarify that piece, because I wasn't personally clear on that initially, but that does make sense. Just kind of wanted to throw that out there.
If I may use maybe analogy, maybe it's like you can check this PDF document is the source, but you cannot check within the PDF what it says in the PDF. But you can be sure it's that PDF.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. Thanks for adding that, Gary. And we did discuss like different ways of being able to validate like portions of a contract. And we had some good ideas there. There was a bunch of good discussion around that. We decided to just go for the full contract hash for this version, but definitely left it open to potentially being able to validate like at the function layer or at the kind of expression layer if you want. So for anybody who's familiar with abstract syntax tree, is like a way that you can look at a language, and that would allow you to kind of specify hashes for these individual parts of the contract. So yeah, potentially in the future, if that turns out to be something that would be helpful, then potentially we can add that in the future.
I think for more context too, in terms of this, like being able to trust another contract, like the alternative today would be that most Clarity developers would either whitelist a bunch of different contracts within their own contract, or they would leverage contract traits. This is where you would see like developers passing in different contracts if they conform to a certain trait. But it's not always accurate or always like 100% bulletproof in making sure that the contract is secure or whatever. So I guess with being able to hash a contract body kind of gives you more security that this contract conforms to this certain template that I'm also aware of. And it's essentially a safer way to know that this external contract that I'm interacting with is what I expect it to be based on what I know of before from this other template.
So just, I'm not a developer at all, but just hearing the Bitcoin stuff flying around, it's almost like, could you hash certain section of the body? You hash that and maybe another piece, and then you take the two hashes, hash them again in order to receive the contract hash. And then that would ensure that no sections can be tampered with, because only if you tamper that, the eventual contract hash will be changed. So that ensures the security of the individual parts.
Yeah, I think that makes sense, Hero. The way that this one is actually working, because it's just the simple like full contract hash, is it's just doing a hash over the whole string of characters in the contract. But the one that I was talking about that was like one of the proposals that we might come back to later was doing exactly that, where you hash the individual parts and then you form a tree and there's hashes up the tree. And so that would be kind of what you were describing there.
Yeah, something I could provide as just a little bit of like insight from, from sort of like Alex's experience, and because like obviously, a major event was our June security incident, which as you mentioned, did involve the sort of contract task functions. A bit on just what motivated what it was that Alex created is that it had to do with the self-listing function on Alex, and we had self-listing before, but it was permission self-listing, as had sort of like other DeFi platforms on on Stacks. And so if you were self-listing a token, there required some sort of manual overview, or kind of, as you mentioned, it had to conform to a strict set of whitelisted potential contracts. And then Marvin had provided a code library where basically you could verify a function from within another function, which is something that has existed on other blockchains in the past. The reason that we wanted to implement this on Alex is because by making it permissionless, we could make it really truly scalable. Like what we had in mind is that we wanted to create something like a pump fund on Stacks, where people could potentially submit hundreds, if not thousands, of new meme tokens on a daily basis, and there wasn't that barrier of having to manually review those contracts in order to launch them. And so I think in kind of pursuing that, kind of taking the sort of base case of what we could do with Bitcoin DeFi to a bit of this kind of it's sort of cutting edge. We did run into the function to the issue where the exploit centered around a self-listing function, one that was submitted, and the actual transaction failed, but it having failed, it still showed as executed. So then the exploiter then submitted the same function with the same name, and since it had been shown as executed in the past, basically a malicious function was unable to be implemented. And so I guess in the top stop and the post stop, and I think Marvin has done a really good job of covering it, that even if you had done a dozen clarity audits, it was likely to be something that would be overlooked and missed. But I think with a function like this, like you mentioned, that kind of like hashes, that would essentially ensure that, again, if that initial function that was submitted failed and it was executed, if another function is submitted with the same name, now if you can prove the hash is now different, because obviously a modification has been made, this would entirely prevent a similar instance like that from like happening in the past. So I think what we learn is, again, we know that as in building Bitcoin DeFi, we are very much pioneers, and if you look at the history of the American West or whatever else, those who are pioneering, staking out new lands, you're like exposed to certain risks just in being the first to do things that others aren't, and that others then learn from sort of your example. Or kind of, if you go to any industry, or if you look at OSHA, like they say, regulations are written in blood, right? And so I think if there is a silver lining or a positive in what having to occurred, one is that like we are very proud at the foundation that we were able to make all users whole from this June security incident. Second is that we are still standing, we're still building. We've kind of got our head up, and we haven't heard any bell, and we're really in this for the long haul, and we're really encouraged and really thankful for the responsiveness of the Stacks core devs, Bryce, yourself, Jesse, Marvin, who have really kind of like stepped up and then helped us out with some of these requests that we have liked to see implemented in Clarity 4, that would really close the door to these vulnerabilities that we've experienced in the past, and that then really allow us and other builders to move forward, like you say, in and then inherently security enhanced way on Clarity. So so really for us, the Clarity 4 is huge. We really throw like our full weight behind it. We'll be rallying our community to support it, working with heroes, with community leaders like Hero, to highlight, amplify, and explain to the community why it's important. And we really look forward to its release, and to continue building on Clarity and Bitcoin DeFi for sure.
Awesome. Yeah, thanks for that context. That's really great to kind of give more background into why this is really important. That's great.
Absolutely.
I have a couple of clarifying questions. Just in the first one, in sense of terminology, when I hear you guys talk about templates, when I think of a template, I think of something that I can use as like a kind of a framework, and then fill in my own kind of pieces. But I think what I'm understanding from the contract hash is it's really, like I said, you're hashing the whole contract. And so when I think of template, I think of something that's changeable. And I think maybe that's just me being confused about the terminology or whatever, but it is the full contract that's hashed, and it is when we say we'd be using a template, we'd be using the actual contract that is, we'd be hashing the actual contract that's being used and verifying that, right? Not some generic version of the contract that has my specific pieces in it.
Yeah, that's right, Dan. So so I think it is like the use case is probably still going to be this. There's like some template that users are based on, but there will be some parts of that template that can be modified for each instance. So like on the back end, like off chain, you're going to fill in those parts that have changed for this specific token or whatever. So that'll be the name, whatever else, the max supply, all that kind of stuff. You'll compute the matching hash off chain and then make sure that it matches on chain. So so there's still this off chain part that someone is doing to validate like against the on chain hash.
Right. And when you say we're hashing the whole contract, are we hashing comments in two, or are we only hashing valid Clarity code?
Yeah, it's the entire string. So it's just like exactly what gets submitted into the node.
I can see these templates eventually becoming almost like a library of standard templates, in the same sense that there's like Open Zeppelin for Solidity, right?
Yeah.
So that'll be pretty interesting to see kind of develop with these templates going forward.
Yeah, definitely. And like I said, with that potential future version where we can kind of validate portions of the syntax tree, then it would be even easier to validate against a template, because you basically select the parts that you want to validate and ignore the other parts. And that syntax tree model would also take care of ignoring comments and white space differences and all that kind of stuff.
And I just want to zoom out a little bit. Like it should mean that for the depositors of their BTC or their assets, it's like for all assets, I guess, should mean it's safer to even more safe to deposit in the future, right? That it's a really good thing for the ecosystem to almost like like market, not necessarily market around, but it should mean like when you bring your assets to Stacks, it is as safe as it could be like right now, and we will be making even more security upgrade in the future.
Yep.
Yeah. I guess one that I'd like to ask Bryce about is we mentioned a bit about the contract hash, which again, like in summary, means that like from one function you can call on the contract, and through hashing, basically validate that the contract matches the one that you are calling on. But I guess another one, just going through the Clarity v4, it's the one that I think it began as post conditions, and then has become now restrict assets.
Yep.
And I had noticed the change then If you could better explain how that came about, I would definitely benefit a lot from that myself, not being a dev directly.
Yeah, definitely. That's what I was going to talk about next. So, and you're right, that one went through the most changes. We went back and forth on a bunch of different designs and syntax and naming and all that kind of stuff on this one. So, yeah, okay. So the use case for this one is I have a scenario where I need to call an untrusted contract, but I don't need to like validate the full contract against a template. So I don't have a hash that I want to compare it against. But what I do want to be able to do is guarantee that when I make a call to that contract, I can restrict what that contract can do. And so by what it can do, it means moving assets around, right?
Right.
So as a smart contract writer, probably the most important thing that I'm concerned about is the assets that are held by my contract. So typically, there's a lot of different use cases where you're calling a contract from your contract using an as contract block. And so one of the new additions here is that the as contract now includes this list of what we're calling allowances. So you have as contract, a list of allowances, and then whatever expressions you want to do. And so that body of expressions, after it executes, gets compared. You take a look at all the assets that moved during that body and compare it against the allowances that were specified in that list. And if anything moved that you didn't give explicit authorization to move from your contract, then that whole body will be rolled back. Any changes don't take effect, and it returns an error back to the Clarity code. And so, yeah, that basically enables you to say, okay, I'm going to call this function that's supposed to just transfer 10 foo tokens to wherever. And so I say, okay, I'm going to as contract with FT, with fungible token. I specify the contract that has this token and the number that it's allowed to use. Then if I do this contract call to this trait that I don't trust, if it just moves those 10 tokens, everything's fine. It returns successfully. But if it tries to move one SBTC instead of this other token, then it's going to get an error and roll back any changes that it made. So there's I think that's the most important use case, is that as contract context, because that's where you're protecting the assets that are held by the contract. But then there's also this restrict assets version, which essentially allows you to do the same thing, but to protect any other principal. So I could say, I could have a body of code that I want to, I'm not necessarily worried about it moving my assets as the contract, but I'm worried about it like I'm protecting some other contract or some user or whatever. So you specify the sender, and then you specify this list of allowances. And again, it does those checks afterwards. And so it feels a lot very similar to like the post conditions that as a user you can specify with your transaction, where in that case, you're controlling the movement of assets from the user's perspective. But as the contract writer, you have no control over whether the user includes those post conditions to protect your contract or not. So this basically adds the way for the contract to add its own kind of controls on what can happen inside the code.
So if I just have a question. So to clarify a little bit more, the main reason for this is you can call multiple contracts, right? You can even have technically a chain of contracts if you really wanted to, etc. Mm-hmm. So the problem here is that when you're writing your contract, it's possible that the contract you call, whatever function you call, has some things in it that you don't like. Is that what it is? Is like it could actually do some stuff you don't intend. Right. And so you're sort of like you're creating the guardrails right away, right? That if I do call an external contract, like it can't do things that I don't want it to do, basically.
Exactly. Yep. You're specifying exactly what assets it's allowed to move, and if it tries to move anything else, it fails. And this is like safe by default. So if you use as contract and you don't pass anything into that allowance list, then that whatever you do inside that body is not allowed to move any assets from the contract. So that was one of the kind of perspectives that came up from one of the security advisors, was like, let's make sure that anything new that we add is secure by default. So like the less you do, the more safe you are, which is
Is there a scenario like I mean, obviously if there's variables, but like what's a scenario where like I have this running and it works and then all of a sudden it stops working? Like could that happen, I guess, if I mean you have a public function, you can't really change it. So I'm just trying to figure out like what's your perspective? Like could it not work at some point if something has changed?
So the thing that would change would be like the traits that you're passing into this function and then calling like making a contract call to. So yeah, like if you pass in a different trait and the trait that you passed in this time tries to do something bad, then it's going to stop it. But it would always act the same way if you're calling the same trait. Like there's nothing that would change in that sense.
This might be nonsensical. Sorry if it is, but the check is basically the contract that it's called. So if there's like multi layers of contracts that are called, in theory, 3 layers deep, they could be doing something, but as long as it looks right to like the second layer, then the first layer would still work. Is that right?
So basically, whenever it gets back up to the layer where it has the as contract or the restrict assets, that's when it does the check. So like if my contract is contract A and I'm using as contract to call B, and that calls C and that calls D, and D is the one that does something bad, then D will execute, it'll return back to C, that'll return back to B, but then when it returns back to A, that's when it violates the post condition and everything gets rolled back. So everything that happened, you're still charged for all the cost of that because it executes and then rolls back after the check happens.
But the post conditions have to be that 3-4 layers deep. It's not just a post condition that A, and if D and C do something and B is not checking, B would still be like, hey, everything's fine, right?
B would think that everything is fine, but then when B returns to A, everything that happened below that gets rolled back.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
So when you say you still have the cost, it's just the transaction cost. It's not
right. The transaction cost.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
I think to clarify too, with these new features of restricting assets and setting up allowances, you can do all that right now in post conditions on the front end. By having post conditions in your Clarity Smart contracts, like with what Gary said, you're setting up the guardrails early, and you're setting up early for the developer of that smart contract to know exactly what could happen so that they can prevent the user or even the front end developer from having to deal with all of those different post conditions on the front end. And from what I understand as well is that whatever post conditions that you set up in the Clarity Smart contract with this new feature, you can also, if you want to, redundantly set up the same post conditions on the front end, and they won't conflict with one another, correct?
Yeah, that's right. And that's kind of the perfect use case because like say, like basically each entity just wants to protect itself, right? So as the user, I'm going to add the post conditions that protect me. And as the contract writer, I'm going to add the post conditions that protect my contract and so on. So you could have like, as the contract writer, I could also protect my caller if I want to, but if that caller doesn't trust me to know that I'm definitely protecting them, they can also add their own post conditions.
And if there's a conflict on the post conditions between the front end and the contract, that would just fail.
Yeah, it would fail at whatever level. So like if my contract says that this thing is allowed to spend 100 stacks from my contract, and then the user's post condition says it can only spend 10 stacks from the contract, then my post conditions in the contract pass and the transaction looks like it executed successfully until it gets to the user post conditions, which then would fail and abort the transaction.
Right. I like the way that Bryce describes it and these smart contracts being more secure by default. And also, like this, for example, would have been a measure that like for example, with the June security incident, this was an exploiter who basically created a Stacks malicious meme token pool, but then from that pool was able to drain multiple assets. And so obviously, if as Bryce is describing, if by default, you already have those tools on the back end that are restricting those assets altogether, then that exploiter, for example, never would have been able to move SBTC off of the Alex protocol. And so, I think that this is really just a huge step up. It's really hard to understate. And going forward, and how much more secure this makes Bitcoin DeFi as a whole, like you said, by default. And so that's why we really commend the excellent work done and the thought you guys have put into it. Again, I've been looking at the reviews and how thoroughly it's really been approached. And I know on our devs also applauded also, and are really excited to have this hard fork go live and start to put these into action and practice. And so really from us, a huge thank you for the work you guys are doing.
Awesome. We have a question in the live chat from John of Blockchain Alpha, who I'm not familiar with, is asking, but is it best practice to have post conditions defined in the contract? Why wouldn't it be? Is that a concern?
I feel like now with these features, I think the default should be that post conditions should be first set up in the contract.
Yeah.
And another example, because before I was also kind of questioning this as well. Another example where this would be very useful is if the developer for the Clarity Smart contract and the front end are two different people, right? In most cases, and what I've seen is that they're the same people, the same developer. So when you have those kind of two responsibilities split up, there may be some miscommunication as to what the front end developer expects to happen versus what the smart contract developer expects to happen. And in other cases too, sometimes the user will not use a front end UI to interact with the smart contract. Yeah, for example, you can go in the Stack, any user can go in the Stacks Explorer and invoke any of the contract functions. And if they don't know the wherewithal to use post conditions, then they could set them up. They could set themselves up for a wallet drain or something. So I think with these new features, I think the default best practice would be to have post conditions in the smart contract first.
Yeah, it makes sense to me that way. I just don't have enough working knowledge to know whether there's another way to look at it as per that question. Hero had actually posted something that Crypto Dude has actually been talking about for a little while. He posted about it again last week. I forget where the discussion came up, but he suggests that when in allow mode or when allow mode is enabled, wallets like Lether and Xverse should automatically disable the confirm button by default and require users to enable dev mode in settings first to protect people. Do you guys have any input on that or any position on that?
I think it's a good idea. Both of those wallets show a warning when you sign something that is in allow mode, but everybody gets used to ignoring warnings and stuff as we're doing things.
The more transactions you're doing, the more it just becomes repeat.
Yeah. Yeah. And it definitely is dangerous to sign a contract that is in allow mode. If you didn't write that contract yourself or examine it very carefully, you really shouldn't do that. So I think it's not a bad idea to say you have to go into developer mode if you want to do that. That would also force any legitimate applications to make sure that they're setting post conditions correctly in their interfaces that they provide to their users.
So is that here? You ever?
I guess I brought that up only because at the end of the day, the users don't mind whether it's through an upgrade or through a wallet provider adjusting the setting, right? All they want is the assets to be safe. So if this says consensus, it seems to me it would make sense to go along with Clarity 4 upgrade to almost it should be on at the same time, like right now, but according to many people, they seem to want it now. But if we can bundle it up and say, yeah, this is at the blockchain level, we are making these upgrade plus on the wallet level, so they go hand in hand. It's like a double protection.
Yeah, they're kind of indirectly related. Like they're each separate. Like I said, each entity in the transaction should be protecting itself. So like the wallet user should always be setting their own post conditions. So, but yeah, if this Clarity 4 is the opportunity to like push that further, that hey, users stop signing allow mode transactions, then yeah, put them together. Sure.
So it seems like there's a lot. I'm sorry, Hero, go ahead.
Oh no, you go.
I was just going to say, it seems like there's a lot of robust security updates and upgrades in this, which is always good. You know, it seems like it actually protects users from potentially hurting themselves. It makes things a lot more challenging to exploit. If there is an exploit, it gets thwarted on a number of different fronts. Is there other stuff in the SIP that are more functionality related, less security related?
Yeah, the other two main things are a lot simpler and a lot less security focused. The one is a new expression called toASCII that lets you pass in any kind of simple value and just get a string value in its place. This one is kind of also security related because the idea came from someone who's working on the wormhole contract and realized that there's this function that's written that's way more complicated than like we'd prefer in a security focused contract like a wormhole contract would have to be, just to take a principal and generate a string for it so that they can use that string to pass a message to like another chain or whatever. And so just by bringing that toString functionality into the language, it like removes complexity from contracts, which is indirectly also for security purposes, because now basically less code is less chance of writing a bug if you write less code.
It's also easier for developers though too. It makes it more clear cut as to what they have to do. So it's also added functionality. It makes life easier for the devs.
Right. Yeah, exactly.
I fed the and for anybody at home, you can actually do it yourself. You can download the Clarity 4 file and upload it to Notebook LN, and that's what I did. And it appears to say like this specific feature basically sort of is improving the cross interoperability side of things. So it should mean if you were to do a bridge to another chain, it should make it easier, right, for that to happen.
Yeah, definitely. And then go ahead.
No.
I was just going to move on to the last thing, Dan. So if you had another comment, go for it.
No, I was just praising the next one ahead of time.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So the next one, this one came from a request from Zest. Yeah.
To clarify the other comment that I made before about, default practice being putting your post conditions in Clarity Smart contracts, this feature should not also mean that you don't need to set up post conditions on the front end. But in fact, you still do, because you still want to be able to display to the user when they're interacting with the app in the wallet what they expect to happen in that function. So
right. So it's not one or the other. You
correct. Yeah.
Yeah. Thanks for clarifying that, Eric. So the last one, this one came from a request from Zest. But like anybody who's doing DeFi appreciates this one. So right now every Stacks block has a timestamp on it. But in Clarity 3, you can only get the timestamp of the previous block. You can't get the timestamp of the current block. So you do that using the get stacks block info expression, which you have to pass a previous block into it. And that's just because most of the other information in that can return, you don't know until the block is finished being built. So you can't, you have to do it for a previous block only. But the timestamp for a block is set at the beginning of mining. So we basically just added a keyword block time that lets you access the timestamp for the current block, which DeFi people especially really appreciate being able to have the most accurate time as possible. So Dan, you can go ahead with your comment on that one now.
I was just going to say that Trippin actually mentioned it too up there in the chat, like the timestamp for block, super useful. Looking back again at the Stacks Pay, one of the things we've done is because we do want to expire payment requests, is we've been using the block height, which is a little squishy, right? So having the timestamp access is a definite win for us.
Awesome.
What does that actually add? So what are you going to use that for, Dan? Like, what's the function use case for that?
If you want time limited payment requests, like
can I do like
30 days or something like that? Like you can put that in blocks, right? Or you can put a specific, you can check a specific time later, right? To make sure that it's within whatever the timestamp that you set. So if you're
time-based transactional stuff.
Yeah. If you're paying late, it's an extra 5%. We can check that now and say, oh, hey, this is late. You really owe X plus 5% or whatever. There's a million things you can do there, but it adds a ton more flexibility without uncertainty.
Yeah, I would say also you're having a community vote, right? If you're having a community vote that has a particular cutoff date and time, before that's been like a particular block height. But that block height can be like you don't know exactly when it's going to fall on, and depending on your schedule, if you're going to be at work or whatever else, that can cause this uncertainty. So far, we've been doing it on the front end, but still on the back end, it's accessible. So now, if you can actually in the Clarity code put a timestamp in there, there's just that much more clarity and certainty for the people who are participating in voting to know when they need to get their votes in or participate. And so, yeah, I think there's a lot of applications for it.
So even like something like when you guys did the surge campaign, people have to do something by a certain time. It's more specific, more reliable.
Exactly. Yeah.
I have a question. Maybe I just don't understand this as well. But like, what if the block doesn't complete? Like you set a time. How do they correlate with blocks? Right, because you still need something to happen for that to be true. I mean, technically, well, yeah, I guess you don't have to, but.
Well, isn't it coded to the time, not the block? And that's the point. So it doesn't matter whether a block completes, it's just to the time. Is that?
Or you can check both. You could check both, right? And say.
But like Gary, you're saying that if I'm waiting for noon, whatever, and a block comes at 11:59 and 30 seconds, and then another block doesn't come until 2 p.m.,
right.
Then you don't have a timestamp. You don't have like a trusted timestamp in between there. So you'd have to rely on something else in between there. But then if what you're actually caring about is the next transaction, then like that transaction is going to be in the block that happens later. And so it can still check that timestamp and say, okay, I am 2 hours late or whatever.
Okay.
So it probably still works. And the guarantees that you get for that timestamp, just to add a little more technical detail in there, the signers are the ones that are validating that this timestamp is like something close to accurate. And what they're validating, I think somebody can check me on this, but I think it has to be at least 1 second later than the previous block, and it has to be within 15 seconds of like what they see the current time is. So it's not going to be like accurate to milliseconds or anything like that, but it is guaranteed by the signers to be within 15 seconds of what they think is the current time.
So I have always been a fan of using that burn block height for measuring time, just because it's such a beautiful metaphor for relying on Bitcoin as the source of truth for time, right?
Sure.
And for the longest part, I think most Clarity developers have been using that burn block height for measuring time. So it'll be interesting to see the dynamics going forward to see if developers start adopting that current timestamp over Bitcoin's block height.
Awesome. Hey, Rafa is in the.
got a question related.
I don't know. I'm sorry, Hero. I just want to ask, what is Rafa's saying? No P256, guys. So what's he asking you guys?
Yeah, I can take that one. So right now we have support for P256K1 cryptography. We have a few different clarity expressions that allow you to validate signatures with that K1 curve. But the R1 curve is used in WebAuthn, and that's why there's a lot of interest in getting support for that in contracts. So it'd be easier to write like OAuth that uses stacks. And this is not in the SIP at this moment, but basically if we can figure out that it is able to be implemented in a reasonable amount of time, we might still add it. So Joey, who's like one of the cryptography experts that's contributing to Stacks, has gone through the libraries, the Rust libraries that are available and audited and all that for us that implement this R1 curve. And it looks like he found one that should be that everyone should be comfortable using inside Stacks Core. So it's basically like, if we have time, we'll include it in Clarity 4. If not, it'll definitely be in a soon later iteration of Clarity. But if anybody's interested in helping out with the implementation, that would definitely help get this in there.
If you're a cryptographer, guys, make sure you contribute. Actually, I got a very quick question. So one is about the previous function, the bridge one. So does that mean our SBTC and maybe the bridges like the wormholes, in theory, could benefit from this upgrade in terms of are they more secure, those bridges, including SBTC?
I think so. If it's just an SBTC bridge, then it doesn't really matter because you're only interacting with the SBTC contract, which you already trust. What it's important for is if you want to have like user traits that users pass in to say, okay, I want to bridge my random fungible token through your bridge, which you wouldn't want to do. You wouldn't want to make these contract calls to transfer some random fungible token if you don't trust the contract. But if you have the protections of these post conditions, so now I say, okay, when I call transfer to transfer 10 whatever hero coins, if it tries to do anything besides transfer 10 hero coins, then it'll get rejected. Then, okay, then now my bridge can support that whatever random tokens.
Yeah, and also there's another question. So about the times block time function, what happens in like Bitcoin reorg? Like would it be affected, or how do you guys? What's the solution?
Yeah, so when Bitcoin reorgs, basically the stacks blocks that were on the reorged branch of Bitcoin are rolled back, and then you're basically building new blocks from the new Bitcoin branch. So those blocks will have a new timestamp. The transactions that were over here will get re-executed over here, but they will be interacting with a new timestamp for sure.
Very cool. Yeah, so I think maybe one more question that I ask every SIP author is, what's the biggest risk to this upgrade? You guys can foresee, can think of, and what's the preventive measure?
Yeah, so I guess the biggest risk here, so like we kind of talked about, all of these features are security, like most of them are security focused. So there's all good stuff there. The risk is just in the implementation. So we are adding more complexity into the Clarity VM. So there's basically opportunity for something to go wrong there. And we cover that with testing and fuzz testing, which is where we're generating random things and throwing them at it and seeing what we can break. All different kinds of testing and having lots of different eyes looking at it are the main paths to avoid those troubles.
Sure. Are those testing currently happening, or is it happening later after the SIP vote passes?
It'll be happening concurrently. So like I've been working on the implementation right now. It's probably about 90% complete, and the implementation has the basic testing included in it, so unit testing and integration testing. But then the kind of more complex testing will come once that implementation is done, before or after the vote, and definitely before anything goes live.
Just for a quick question, I think when I just checked last week for the SIP vote date, it said to be determined. I just wanted to follow up, like, is there a ballpark date range now, or is it still kind of a work in progress? I just wanted to check in on that.
Maybe, I don't know if Hero can answer that at all. I just keep pushing to get the vote going.
Okay.
So yeah, I don't know. Hopefully soon is I guess all I know.
I missed the
sorry.
question.
The question,
About-
Hero, was I think when I checked last week on the GitHub repo, it said that the vote date was still to be determined. I don't know if there's more of a ballpark sense of when that date is now. Like obviously we want the devs to really like take their time and make sure this is bulletproof before going forward. But definitely our community would like to know, so maybe like some ballpark range or date or month or quarter of when this might go live. And so, and any light that you can shed, if possible, would be much appreciated.
Yeah, I think it's a conversation with the people in the weeds to get a better sense of where how close they are and how confident they feel like right now. Has their enough review been done yet? But yeah, it's something that I was interested to talk to Bryce today, also just publicly. And I did talk to Jesse as well, and we were not like absolutely conclusive as to whether we need. I know it's a consensus breaking SIP, but does it need a public vote? Like it's better probably to have but we were not sure, because it's like it seems like pretty obvious, like it's just a Clarity 4 upgrade. It's nothing to do with anything else. So I don't know if you had any opinions on that, Bryce.
Yeah, I would expect a vote for anything consensus breaking. I thought typically we do a vote.
Required, isn't it?
Yeah, almost. Apart from emergency ones,
Right.
But yeah.
Because this would be a hard fork. Am I right? And
that's right.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So there'd have to be a vote. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
If I can ask one last,
Yeah, the last Clarity upgrade vote was bundled with other upgrades in SIP 15. And this one, it's just on its own, but it's still consensus breaking, so it's a hard fork.
I guess depending on how the timing works out, there's at least one other SIP that's like in similar phase. That's the POX upgrade, the proof of transfer upgrade. So if that one lines up, they might hard fork at the same time, or those might be two separate hard forks, depending on timing.
Yeah, I know that we're at the hour, but could you just mention a bit about that POX upgrade? Just because I don't know much about it, but it sounds really cool. So maybe just like in a nutshell, what's the POX upgrade? I think V5 is it, or something like that?
Yeah. So that's POX 5. Freeger is leading this one, and the main things. Let's see if I remember them all. The main things are, one, you should be able to switch stacking pools without one cycle of downtime. So that's kind of a pain point. If you want to switch from one stacking pool to another right now, you have to lose one full cycle of rewards. So that will be gone with this update. And then another one is that the restacking happens automatically. If you do nothing, you will be restacked for the next cycle versus having to manually do something every time. So we've seen several different pools or different holders like forget to restack and then lose rewards for a whole cycle, which really hurts their users. So that changes. So you have to actively do something to not restack for the following cycle. And then it just kind of simplifies some of the different the different like entities that are interacting. So right now we have the concept of a stacker and then a stacking pool and then a signer. But really the stacking pool and the signer can be one and the same. So at least from the contracts perspective, if they want to be separate outside of like off chain, then, you know, as a stacking pool, I can pay somebody else to do the signing. But as far as on chain, they should look like the same entity that's doing that signing. So it just kind of simplifies a lot of things by kind of condensing those different parts of the puzzle.
If I can ask one last question of Bryce, how would you compare?
SIP, it also makes it the POX5. It also makes it allows the operators to have a little bit more flexibility on the distribution of rewards from their pools.
Okay.
I'm sorry, Eric. Go ahead.
Yeah. I was trying to get this question in. For Bryce, how would you compare this upgrade compared to the previous Clarity upgrades?
Let's see. So I think the impact of several of these things that are included in this one are pretty huge. Like just being enabling that much better safety by default, I think is pretty big. And there's also the nice thing about, you know, when we got to figure out when the vote happens, but there's nothing really controversial in here. So it should be just like get everyone to know about it and then it will pass. But it is only 4 or 5 keywords. Well, I guess there's several more, maybe 10 keywords that are added. It's relatively simple, but the impact that it have is pretty big.
Gotcha.
So do you think it's ready for the technical?
Yeah, I think definitely. I noticed that there's a couple of open comments on the SIP. I will address those today, but they're all like minor administrative things mostly. So I'll make sure those get added. But I think certainly the technical cab can review all the technical merits of it anytime.
So yeah, I think if we give the technical cab minimum of 2 weeks, so till like maybe end of October, maybe, and
September.
we can vote sometimes in October. And maybe like, I think we've done 2 weeks vote in the past. I don't see any issue on this specific one. And so it could pass sometimes in October. So if it passes in October, Bryce, based on your knowledge of how long it takes for you guys to do all the testings and all the polishing up to go live, if it passes in October, what would be the live date approximately for this?
I mean, like I said, I've already been working on the implementation for quite a while now, so I'm feeling pretty good about that. We just have the testing after that, so we potentially can be ready to go live. If we're talking 4 weeks before a vote is done, then we should be ready to go live like soon after the vote happens.
Okay, that sounds good. So yeah, I'll try to get the engine of technical cab activated again and start reviewing it ASAP then. And then yeah. So to answer Haddon's question, it doesn't sound like it's gonna take too long, I guess. So we just get the cab's approval, we get the public approval, and no controversy, I don't think. And I know DeOrganized is really good at amplifying the messaging. So I'm pretty sure all the community will understand this is a really good security upgrade to Stacks. Yeah, so maybe sometimes in October, maybe in November latest, maybe. But I'll speak to Foundation and Mitchell about the specifics and just coordinate.
Awesome. Cool. Thank you so much.
Awesome. Yeah, we can even leverage the we're doing daily spaces for DeGrants and all of that too that are very, you know, community participant oriented. So we have lots of ways we can get the vote out. That's not going to be an issue. It's just a matter of when.
Yeah, I can look about it in the Zest and StackingDAO discords too.
Yeah, exactly. All right. So
any call to action, Bryce?
No, I guess just thanks to all of you for getting the word out here, and let's get this thing passed and get it out there so we can get the security that everybody needs.
Awesome. It sounds like it makes a lot of sense to me as from a layman standpoint. Added security, protecting our ecosystem, making things easier for devs, building, making it more functional for things like and safe for things like wormhole integration. It's a no-brainer to me, and we'll definitely, once we get this to the vote, we'll get it passed. I don't think that'll be a problem at all. Thank you guys so much for joining us today. We're always willing to go longer, but I want to be respectful of everybody's time. It seems like we talked around all the key points. We answered a lot of questions. We can always have another session if you guys are available and we need to talk more about it. So I appreciate you guys tuning in today. Thank you guys for watching. Thank you guys for participating in the live chat. Shout out Trip and Monkey and Rafa for making it extra live in the live chat today. And thank you guys all for joining us. I know it's a lot of time commitment, and this is important stuff we're talking about here. Guys, if you do have any last minute questions, you can go into the forum. There's a chat about this in the Stacks forum, and also in the GitHub. If you have questions, it's still time to actually add some input. It's always welcome and valuable to make this go forward. Thank you, Hero, for putting this together. Huge lift, getting all these guys together in one place at one time to do this. And thank you for letting us actually carry it for you guys. You all have a blessed rest of your day. And don't forget to tune in at 2 p.m. We have the DeFi and tooling track space headed by Benai and Big Mac for DeGrants Cohort 3 coming up at 2 p.m. Eastern. I'm just gonna slowly drop everyone out and then say goodbye. See you, Dan. See you, Hadan. Great seeing you. Hattie. Talk to you soon.
Thank you so much, guys.
Eric, again, kudos on the shirt. I love it. And by the way, you did get props from Rafa in the comments. Gary, love you, man. Talk to you soon. Bryce, great having you, man. And I love the work you're doing on this SIP. It's really great stuff, actually. Hero, much love, GP. I'll catch you guys later.
Y'all have a good one.
Thank you, GP. Yeah, everyone take care. We'll see you soon. Peace out.